Welcome everybody to the second annual Zoom Parker Clinic Obagi event. I'm Christa Calco, the Obagi representative.
I'm Jill Gunton. I'm with the Parker Clinic.
And we're going to start off with just doing a little bit of education on the skin and on some Obagi products. If you think of questions during this event, go ahead and type them into the chat box. We're going to do a Q&A session at the end. But welcome and thanks for taking the time to learn about Obagi. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how the skin ages. It doesn't actually age as we age, chronologically. It ages as it is, forced to have UV damage. So this picture was a picture that was published in a lot of dermatology journals, and it shows the damage of UV rays on this woman. She presented to her doctor saying that one side of her face looked a little bit different than the other. And these photos were taken on the same day, but she worked at a job where her left side of her face faced a window for 20 some years. So that shows you what UV damage can do to the skin. And when the right side wasn't facing that window, you can see it looks pretty normal for her age. So this is not a before and after. It was taken on the same day. So you can see all of the different things that happen with fine lines and wrinkling, the rough texture of her skin, the sallowness and the color, pigmentation issues, these bumps and super deep ridges in the skin, the droopiness of her jawline, that's a loss of elasticity, and then the telangiectasias are kind of broken blood vessels that appear as redness on her skin. So all of those things happen from UV damage, and that can be from lighting, it can be from a tanning bed in your 20s, it can be from fun in the sun, all sorts of things kind of stay in the skin, and then they kind of start to appear when we hit a certain age. I want to talk a little bit too about cosmetic skincare versus medical grade skincare. You can walk through, Nordstrom's or any other department store and see products that will say they will do certain things in your skin, like a brown spot corrector or a collagen producer. All of these are kind of marketing terms that these cosmetic companies use. And the FDA does not regulate that. But the difference really between cosmetic and medical grade, especially if we're talking prescription medical grade, prescriptions can go inside of a skin cell. That's what makes them classified as a prescription, and they can correct what's going wrong in the skin. One of the prescriptions that I'll talk about, which is tretinoin, can actually fix DNA inside of the skin that's been altered from the sun. So it's a really important product when we're going to talk about anti-aging. Cosmetic products do not have the ability to penetrate into the skin cells. So they can do things kind of superficially, but when you really want to change the look of the skin that's been damaged, we need to talk about prescription medical grade skincare. This is one of my favorite graphs when I'm talking about damaged skin versus healthy skin. The damaged skin on the left shows from this purple line up is all the damaged keratinocytes. So when the cells are made in damaged skin at this bottom layer, the purple cells, that's the major cell of your skin. So when the skin is damaged, these cells aren't produced in a healthy, plump kind of fashion. They're irregularly shaped, and when they're pushed up to the top, it's kind of in a sluggish fashion, and then these dead skin cells on top will stay there 3 to 4 months and kind of linger. A lot of moisturizers will rehydrate these dead skin cells, plump them up for a little bit so you feel like your skin maybe looks a little bit better, but once that moisture wears out, those dead skin cells go back to the way they are. They're just going to hang out there, and your skin's going to kind of look dull. Spaced out along the bottom layer of that skin is the melanocyte, this cell here, the blue. And when the skin is damaged, or when this cell is being kind of forced to make more melanin, that typically happens from a rush of hormones in women, exposure to UV rays. It happens a lot of time in pregnancy or with birth control, or in just different skin types as well. So the melanocyte will produce too much melanin and then disperse it unevenly through these layers of skin until you see it show up as a dark spot on the top of the skin. In order to fix that, we don't need to kind of peel away these layers. We need to get down into that cell and correct what's going wrong inside of the cell. So we also have a prescription that does that. We'll regulate the production of melanin. So you're just producing the normal amount to protect the cells underneath from sun damage. That's its job. So it can't do its job if it's not working correctly. And then everything underneath that purple layer, that's where your cell, the fibroblast, is that makes collagen and elastin. This elastin you'll have about half the amount you were born with by your 40s, and then collagen production slows down, blood flow slows down, so the skin kind of starts to fall in. The epidermis will fall in onto the dermis because it can't support it because it's weak. Tretinoin, the prescription drug, will actually stimulate that fibroblast to make collagen and elastin again. So when you see different cosmetic companies claiming that they can make collagen, you have to think about the actual process is inside of a cell, and that can really only happen with the prescription. So with this product line we're going to talk about today, the Nu-Derm system, we're going to get rid of that top layer of dead skin on the top. We're going to go inside the bottom layer of the epidermis and produce healthy keratinocytes. We're going to push up the, I skipped that too soon, sorry. Okay. We're going to push up the keratinocytes faster than they normally go. So an increased cellular turnover, and then we're also going to stimulate collagen and elastin production and increase the blood flow, so we're getting more essential nutrients to the key layers of the skin. So that is our goal with the Nu-Derm system. The Nu-Derm system, again, will reduce signs of aging, will improve the appearance of brown spots or hyperpigmentation in the skin by regulating the production of melanin. It will increase cellular turnover, so we're going to get rid of all the dead skin on the top, replace it with healthy cells. And it can also reduce acne flares because we're using tretinoin, which is FDA indicated for acne as well. So all of these fun things. This is a kind of a standard Obagi, normal what to expect. This is at 12 weeks of using the Nu-Derm system. You can see her melasma is lessened from her cheek. You can even see like the darkness under her eyes has faded. Her nasal labial folds look a little bit less reduced. You can see if you pair this with some other treatments that they have in the office, we can get an overall completely refreshed look.
And that's one thing I want to add to that is when I get many questions when people come in and they say to me, you know, I think I just want to do a laser and get it over with. I just want to do one thing and I want to be done. And that's not really possible. It is one of the largest complaints I've gotten personally over the years, where people have gone to practices, they've had several $1,000s worth of procedures done, and they haven't had the proper skincare to keep something, you know, anything that they've obtained to stay. Meaning that if you did a laser and you could get part way to this photo, so no correction, no retin-A, no nothing, you wouldn't get this far, but you would be better. I'm the opposite when I help treat you guys. So what I do is I take a patient that's in this stage of their life and I say, these are the things you need to do. We need to get you to do the skincare the way we're going to talk about it today. They are prescriptions. I help monitor you. You come in, we continue to have a journey about what to do. We get you to this happy, healthy picture. And you could see, you could still use some laser. You could still use some peels. There's things you can do to get your skin better at this point. But I think a lot of people think they can just do a one and a done and it's good forever. And that's not the case. These are, you know, end up being medical conditions that last a lifetime. And they started really happening to us as kids and we just didn't even know. So that is something that I've really prided myself on. I have many patients that say like, oh my gosh, I went to a class reunion and I'm in my 70s and you cannot believe what my friends look like. Like I feel bad because they've never taken care of their skin with even sunscreen, you know, and you don't have to spend millions of dollars, but you want to make sure you're spending them in the right direction and doing the right things. So I think skincare is a huge missed place for most people to keep that progression going. So that's really why I started doing this whole thing to begin with. And some of you I've just maybe never seen before. So some of you I'm lucky enough to have had for years, and that's great. But you know, some of you guys are brand new and people don't really understand how to get from point A to point B, and even more importantly, stay there. So if you turn a laser on in picture number 1 and you finish with a patient, or you turn a laser on in picture number 2 and they laser that fresh, beautiful, healthy, better functioning skin, you're going to get way more out of your money with the laser. The doctor's going to be happier, you're going to be happier, and then you're going to stay on your prescriptions to maintain where you've gotten to and decide what else you'd like to try, if that makes sense. So you guys can always throw questions in on that one. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's great. We're going to talk a little bit about some ancillary products to our Nu-Derm system as well. We have a great moisturizer called Hydra that works right along with the Nu-Derm system to provide some moisture, because you can have some side effects when you start on the prescription products. And then if you're even more dry skinned, you can use the Hydrate Luxe, which is more of a nighttime, more emollient moisturizer, also with some peptides in it to help plump the skin. Our Obagi Professionals C serums, we have 10, 15, and 20%, are amazing products. Everyone should use them from their probably 20s on to protect the skin. They help to lighten, tighten, and brighten. Also one of our free gifts with purchase today that we'll talk about. But this is a product for prevention. And like I said, I think everyone should be on a vitamin C serum. My favorite eye product, it works on the entire eyelid and under eye. So you use it lash line to eyebrow all the way around. You can see with this before and after the reduction in her crow's feet, and that's at 8 weeks. And this is a twice a day eye cream that does help build the collagen and elastin back into that eye area.
And I get questions all the time. You are applying on the orbital rim, which means where you can feel the little bone on your eye socket, and it will migrate towards your lashes. If you start to get a little irritation by the lash area, it's possible you've applied a little too much here in the evening, and your body, when you're hot, it'll make some of that migrate towards the lashes and aggravate it a little bit. So putting it on the orbital rim is fine. It'll move in. You don't want to do too much too close to the lashes if you have sensitive eyes.
Yep, and then this one shows the lift in the eyelid skin here at week 9 as well. So it works on crow's feet around the side, lifting and tightening. Anyone that's getting Botox for the eye area, or anyone, you can use it preventatively, and you won't get this or get it as drastically as you might have, and you can use it also for correction. This is one of Jill's patients. I'll let her describe her journey to you.
So this lady was lovely to let me use her photos. She's a wonderful patient that came in and really never thought about the fact that she had dark spots or freckles. She just wanted to feel and look younger. She actually was a childhood friend of our Dr. Reimer. And if you look at it closely, and it's kind of hard to see, I see some of them, it depends if your light is up. At the end, when we finished with her, she said, "I didn't remember really looking like that. I'm shocked." We didn't do a ton on her laser wise and things like that. One of the reasons I love to show this is because the difference, and she is a natural redhead woman. So that is definitely the lightest Fitzpatrick that we can always, you know, she's going to burn even if she tries not to. So somebody like that is just going to pigment. So I think when you start to see something like this at a medium to an older age, it's usually after childbearing years. Like she said, a lot of times before menopause, our bodies start acting kind of funny and doing weird things, and we just lightly see it. A patient who's going to have freckles like this isn't going to notice it as much as a person who's got a dark spot here and there, and they're like, where is this coming from? So I think just seeing what Nu-Derm can do, and this was really only me, it was dosage and frequency of medications and the product. She had really great results. So I always just want to show one person because I think it's better than some of theirs. And the other thing I also want to say is with this patient, you know, you're going to read the inside of the tubes and it says, don't put Retin-A by your eyes, don't do some things like that. Those are things that I help to teach you that I believe you do need to do, and you need to do them in a healthy, easy way to keep everything on your face even. If you end up not using any product but the eye product and you have this dark around there, it will continue to stay dark. Sometimes it's dark that it's going to be along in here and you're going to need some filler, and it will lift that skin up off of the bone area there for you, because sometimes our cheeks want to slide a little. Hers haven't done that as much, but this area will flatten out the fastest on pretty much all of us as we age at a very young age, and then it starts to bother us. So she was wonderful in letting me use her. I believe I did some peels on her too, but she was one of my first people that I asked way back, and I've just kind of kept her in the slide. So, okay, move on. Okay.
So that's the end of the presentation part. We're going to talk about what the Nu-Derm system looks like and entails. So it comes in this kit that's back here behind Jill. You can see everything is numbered and in sequential order of how you do the product. So there's a cleanser and toner to clean and prep the skin day and night. And then after that is your first prescription called Clear. And this product helps to lift and erase the visible pigmentation that you have when you look at your skin, the top layers. Again, that's the prescription, 4% hydroquinone. After that is your morning exfoliating product called Expoderm. You apply this in the morning. It helps to loosen up those dead skin cells, so when you wash at night, they come off. And then in the morning after that, you would use your Hydrate moisturizer and then finish up with the sunscreen. All of those products come in the kit, so super easy to use. And then at night, you would repeat the cleanser and toner, repeat the Clear. And again, you can use this Clear all the way around your eyes. If you have pigment in that area, you want to feather it into your hair down your neck. And then comes the prescription components, or the nighttime bang, is Blender mixed with tretinoin. So Blender is also a 4% hydroquinone. That's a prescription. And then we put the prescription of tretinoin or Retin-A with this product, mix them together, and this gets you that lightening at a deeper level in the skin. And then the tretinoin helps with cellular turnover. It helps build collagen and elastin. It helps correct the cells from the inside out. And we would match the appropriate strength of tretinoin to your skin type. So that's part of, if you're new, we ask you some questions to put you into the right dosage. And that's always something we can play with as well until we make sure we get it right.
And one thing I want to say about Retin-A is about 95% of the people that come to see me say I can't use it. I've used it, it didn't work, it just doesn't work for me. So what we do is we figure out ways that it can. And long term, it really does end up helping people, and they're always kind of shocked. So typically it's by adding it at the perimeter of our faces. We don't want to dump it all down the middle, because this is always going to cause us a problem, especially now with the masks. The masks cause a lot of issues for people around their face. But that is something that keeps those cells moving forward. And when Christa was showing you the side-by-side pictures, the old picture is the old skin and the fluffier one was the new skin. And we're trying to slowly move those cells forward so that we can always have a new healthy surface for you to apply your products to. So microneedling would work better. Peels will work better. Fillers and Botox are going to look better. All of those things look better when your skin is in the best condition it can be in. So that's why I feel that this product line is different than anything else we carry, quite frankly. It's been my favorite for all these years of my job, and people have come back and thanked me and hugged me, and they're like, I don't know what I would have done. Like, I know when I see my friends or I see family members, I almost feel bad because their skin is not as good a condition as it could be in. And sometimes they just don't want to take the time to do it. I also have people that say, I will never do that many steps. I won't, I just can't. So that is something that is, once you see your skin changing, you will do it. It's kind of funny. For moms that are busy, I raised 4 kids. I actually have 6 grandkids now, which I can't even believe myself. And after dinner, I would be like, okay, it's time for the dishwasher. Like, you guys do the dishwasher. I'm gonna go wash my face. And I had this really sweet client the other day who reminded me all these years ago, she's African-American, she's absolutely beautiful skin. I mean, amazing skin. And she said to me, I said to you, what if I don't have kids? When do I wash my face? And I said, oh, it's easy. You set an alarm in your phone and it's called Get Your Skin Together. And so she shared that with me. I forgot saying that to her all those years ago. And she goes, you know, I still use that alarm in my phone. You remember when it's time for me to get my skin together? And I was like, oh my God, I forgot I said that to you. And she goes, Jill, I've done that for years. And if you saw her skin, you would be like, wow. I mean, it's beautiful. So, and she had very dark hyperpigmentation as a young African-American lady who had never worn sunscreen as a kid. And she just hated it. And she's like, you know, the skin on my chest or on my fanny areas that don't see the sun, that's the natural color of my body. And my face looks like, I know I'm supposed to be colored, you know, dark, but I just feel so dark. I can't find makeup. I can't do anything. And I just feel trapped, you know? And we really worked hard at getting these products to work for her. And she is doing amazing. So some of that is, you know, sunscreen use on a regular basis, but it's also making the time for yourself to do it. And another thing that I love about this is, yes, it's expensive. It does take time. But what I believe is when you have the tools with you at home to do what you need to do, and I teach you what to do, I feel like you're not prisoner seeing me all the time. You have time to travel, raise your kids, do what you want to do, but you've got the hardcore products that are going to make a difference. And, you know, we can add other things in that you love, that are your favorite from other lines. That's totally fine. But you need to have those really good core products. So they did come out with a few other products that we were going to go over, right? We're going to maybe start with this one if you want to.
Yep. Everybody always asks what's new with Obagi. And this is our newest product. It's called Daily Hydra Drops. And it is a really unique product. It comes out into this dropper form, and then the dosage comes out when you drop it. And you can see it's got these little beads of product that are emulsified into this water base. And it's got vitamin B5, absinian oil, and hibiscus oil. So it's rich in antioxidants and just gives your skin like a nice drink of water. And it's super light in this water base with a really nice smell to it. And I was actually surprised that the age group that's really liking this, like I really like it, but my daughter who's 17 and has had some acne off and on, and her best friend who's also 18, they love this product because again, it's in that water base. It's not thick. It's not oily. It's not going to break them out, but it does help with some redness because it does have the vitamin B5, which is niacin in it. And it's just a really nice daily moisturizer.
It can be a boost to your moisturizer, or it can be in place of your moisturizer if you're oilier. Most times people will say, I'm not going to use a moisturizer, and that Retin-A just tears me up. So that is a great way to put Retin-A on and use that without really feeling like you have moisturizer on. If you're somebody who, you know, does yoga outside, the humid hot yoga, you don't want like Hydrate Luxe would kind of roll down your face and get all sort of yucky. This won't happen. So you would do Hydrate Luxe at bedtime when you know you're not going to be sweating to death. And then another really good one, it's not necessarily new, but it might be new for some people, is Retivance. So Retivance is a retinol product, and it's retinaldehyde, so it's a little bit different. The formulation's a little different. And the one thing that I like about it is when it's for my patients who say, I cannot use Retin-A, I just can't. I always start them on a tube of this, and I kind of get them rolling every single night. And it's awesome for necks, awesome for under your eye cream. So if we know we can put it under our eye cream 7 nights a week, we can certainly tolerate it on our faces 7 nights a week. What I start doing then is I replace with that prescription tretinoin, I start slowly replacing your Retin-A. So we maybe would do this Monday and this on Tuesday and this on Wednesday, and we slowly rotate this in. And before you know it, when the weather is warm and it's on our side and we have humidity outside, you can actually transition into this completely full face, and even every once in a while on our necks. But this can be on our neck all the time and around our eyes all the time. It is a fabulous product, and a lot of retinols on the market have been very irritating. And we get a lot of complaints about that. So people say, well, if I can't even use a retinol, there's no possible way I'm going to use a Retin-A. And that just is not true. So if you feel that those are issues that you're having, consults with me are free. You come in, they may charge you $75. They sometimes want people to just be, you know, I guess, what do you want to say? Weeding out people that aren't serious. I don't know how to put it properly, but they manage that very, you know, tightly up there for me, and I do appreciate it. However, it gets a little nerve-wracking for people. Like, why would I have to give her $75 just to tell me what to do? You would then put it towards a product. So it just reserves your time. They know you're serious about coming, and then you buy what you want when you're here. And if you find that there's nothing you want and you want to see one of the physicians for Botox or whatever, you're free to use your $75 anywhere in the practice for anything that you would like. So it doesn't have to be for me, even though you spent time with me, it's fine. So that's something to just sort of let people know, because people think it's crazy to spend that, which is true, it is. So this is something that I think is really, really unique to this system. That most people don't realize is available, and this retinol is very, very, very tolerated. So if you've ever tried a retinol from anybody else and you've had an allergic problem or an issue, I would pretty much bet my life that you would not have a trouble with this one. So
yeah, this is definitely, people always ask
Awesome.
me all the time, because I've been with Obagi, I'm on my 16th year, and they always ask me what my favorites are. And hands down, Retivance is one of my favorite products ever. And because I've been on Retin-A so long, and this is good for anybody that's been a client of Jill's or on Nu-Derm for a really long time, and maybe you're at the point where you don't use your Retin-A every night. So when you start, you do. But a lot of times when people have been on it for years, they don't. Maybe they use it a couple times a week, but you should really have some sort of vitamin A product on your skin every night. So what I do is I go every other night, or I do one night of tretinoin and then 2 nights of Retivance. So I'm getting that vitamin A in my skin every single night. And this product is
luxurious.
amazing. It feels like
It feels
silk.
like silk. It's
I
crazy.
try to put products on during this so you can see, but it goes on in this, it's yellow.
It feels like a primer under
Yeah.
makeup. It's so smooth. You would think there's like silicone in it or something, and there's not. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
feels so good.
And I do it again all the way around my eyes, down my neck, on my décolleté. And it's again just one of my favorite products we've ever had, because nobody's had a reaction to it at all. And it's actually stronger than a retinol. It's a middle ground between tretinoin. Retivance is a retinaldehyde, and the retinol is an over-the-counter product. So it's kind of that middle ground. It's stronger. It's going to get more vitamin A into the skin than a retinol would.
We're going to talk about sunscreens a little bit. If you can grab that Susan one back there. I can't reach it. It's in the back. So this is what comes in all of our kits. It's great. It's white. It's just the way they've done it for years. So a lot of times I have people use it on their chest, on their bodies, husbands, golf bags, whatever. These are newer. They were a couple, 3-4 years old now, somewhere in that zone. And they're done by tones. So if you feel that you're more in that whiter, where your skin almost has that bluish kind of a hue to it, not a tan or a yellowy hue, it blends beautifully. It looks a little weird when it goes on, and then all of a sudden it just disappears. You kind of need to try a little bit on just to see. Shane can always help you with that here at the clinic, or myself, if you're here. But if I'm with someone and you just want to test what sunscreen is better, all of our samples are now pulled off, but you can certainly have Shane test them for you. We can make little samples. You can take them home. They are SPF 50. These sell out like crazy all the time. People love them. I do feel like I usually do mine face, neck, and chest if I'm in the pool, and I'm usually this color if that helps.
The warm. Yeah.
The warm. We sell a lot of more of the warm, I would say, than the cool. But I do have some people say like, this makes me look weird, like tan, because I'm just so fair. So if you're a very, very fair patient, this is your one.
The also
Sorry.
nice thing about these is that they do protect from all light sources,
Yeah, I forgot.
heat-induced light. So Jill was talking about hot yoga. I'm a yogi and I go to hot yoga. If I don't have my tinted sunscreen on, I do get some melasma that comes out. So if you have
the infrared, that's one. Yeah.
If you have a heat-induced melasma problem, this will help with that.
And you probably have been diagnosed with that. A lot of you guys will have it on your foreheads and you're like, I'm telling you, I'm never in the sun. I don't understand it. But a lot of times it'll be somebody that, is a cook, a chef, they're around something hot all the time where, heat is just always getting into their faces, and they'll have, so you need an infrared sunscreen to protect from that. So it's a little bit different.
And then our newest sunscreen, so this is new too. You may not have been introduced to this. This is in our Dr. Susan Obagi line. It's a physical defense in a tint that is a universal color. And this is a complete non-chemical sunscreen. So if you are just being conservative about what you put on your skin as far as ingredients, You can use this sunscreen. This sunscreen also is protecting from all of the lights, the infrared, the energy sources, the visible light. And the nice thing too, when you're going on vacation and maybe you're going to do some snorkeling or you're concerned about the reefs, this is one you could wear because it doesn't have any chemicals in it. So
and you can see it's not white.
Yep.
That one is probably my all-time favorite. I mean, I don't love sunscreen, I'm not going to lie, and I have to wear it. I have a redhead freckle-faced dad, thank you very much, and that really just makes me have issues. And this is awesome. Doesn't feel heavy, fine for if you're oily, fine for if you're dry. It's probably one of my favorite sunscreens I've ever owned. And I really think when you have to reapply, sometimes it's hard when you've got the tints because they start to sort of back up a little bit. If you're going to wear the tint, go to work, you're not going to be in the sun, whatever, it's fine. But if you're at the pool and you're putting it on, I feel like these turn very white. So you look like you have diaper cream on your face. Nobody wants that. And that one, it just really, it never ends up looking that way. It just, and I get tons of compliments. It is also very thin. It doesn't, this one is going to feel a little thicker. Some people love that. Some people want that really thick white look, and man, they're good. They know they're protected. So it really, it's the biggest thing with sunscreens is you have to find something you will use and you like. You can't put it on at, 6 in the morning and then go meet a friend at noon for lunch and you have no more sunscreen on. It's not, that's not going to protect you at lunchtime. So it's things like that a lot of people forget. You do need to reapply. And especially when we're making your skin a little thinner at the surface, it's becoming so healthy that the rays will get in a little bit more. So we want to make sure we're protecting it as much as we can.
Yeah, we can't do all these things to correct the skin and then not put a sunscreen on. So that's like one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. We talked about the Elastiderm Eye Cream. It comes in this jar, and this is one of our products that lasts a really long time, probably like 6 months on this. So just to show you what that looks like, we have a newer product. I think we're on 2 years of this one, the Elastiderm Facial Serum. This product is used on the full face, neck, décolleté. This is for firming the skin. So it's helping to increase elastin in the full face. Everybody always asks when we have the Elastiderm Eye Cream, why can't I put it on my full face? Well, we developed the technology to do so. It comes out in this serum form. So it looks like that. And you would just apply that to the full face. We'll tell you where to put it into your routine. But again, that is one of our newest ones. It is for lifting, tightening. It really helps in the forehead area. It helps in the jowl line. It helps on the neck. Anybody concerned about tech neck? We're all on our computers and phones a whole lot more. The Elastiderm Facial Serum is amazing for that. Yes. That is also our gift with purchase with $500. We'll talk about those at the end as well.
These are two nice new products, and some people may have them, but they're cleansing wipes. So they're great for the yoga bags. They're great for your kids. They're great for golf bags. They're great for, I went and worked out. I want to run to Heinen's and I look really yucky and I want to wash my face. I wouldn't probably do the one with the acne. You don't want to do that on your eyes. Some people have said, oh my gosh, my eyes burned really bad. And I'm like, were they the white ones? You're not. So these have a little bit of the acne medication in them and they're too strong for your eyes. But if your kids break out and they say, yes, I washed my face, and you're like, no, you didn't. You can actually put this in their bedrooms and they can wipe, before bed, and at least their face is clean and it's doing a small little treatment to the acne that way. It's better than them doing nothing, which is most of the time what happens.
And I have three boys that were super lazy, but the one works out a ton and he was having problems with acne on his back. These wipes come out and they have the 2% salicylic acid in it. That wipe is big enough that he did his face, chest, and back after a workout, and his acne cleared up within a couple of weeks of him starting to do this after his workouts. Yeah,
they're great. And then these are just super simple for the same idea. You just want to, maybe sometimes too, like people take these to the pool, take off the old sunscreen because they don't want to go underwater. They don't want their hair trashed. So they'll take off the old sunscreen, put on a new one. If it starts to build up, you can do that. There's many, things that you can do with these wipes, but we get a lot of compliments on them and people really love them. So biggest thing is you want to shut them all the way. If you accidentally leave it flipped open, that's, they're going to dry out a little bit. So that's a problem with those.
Yeah, I love to use those before I wash my face, take off all my makeup, take off my eye makeup, and then cleanse the skin.
We're going to go into our vitamin C's a little bit.
Yeah, so I talked a little bit about vitamin C during the presentation, but vitamin C is the most important antioxidant you can put on your skin. And you want to make sure it's in the L-ascorbic acid form. That's the way that the body can use it. So vitamin C can come in all different ways and forms, but the body only really recognizes L-ascorbic acid. So the best way to get it really is in this serum form, and we match the appropriate strength to your skin type. The theory with vitamin C is more is better, talking about percentage wise. So we want to try to get you up to a 20%. If you're drier, we'll start you at a 10 or a 15 and then work your way up to the 20. That's used every morning, full face. I love it under my eyes. It does help when people have some darkness and puffiness under their eyes. It does help because it's an anti-inflammatory and a vascular constrictor. If you tend to have any redness in your skin, like rosacea, not active rosacea, but this can help calm the skin. Again, its key things are to lighten, tighten, and brighten. We also have a prescription strength one that has a 4% hydroquinone and a 10% vitamin C, one for dry, one for oily skin. An amazing product, especially for those busy people on the go. I don't have a lot of time. This gives you a 2-in-1 product, and it's going to help with brown spots in the skin as well as doing all of the other.
So when you see the 4% hydroquinone at the bottom, it comes from our pharmacy. So one would be normal to dry, but if you have a young child that's just starting, like teens, you're like, I just want to get her something good. She's got dark spots. She was picking acne at a young age. She lifeguarded, whatever. You could do your tretinoin at night, and this could be a nice little thing for them. I love it as an adult, honestly, but for a kid, this is great because it's 2-in-1. It will help bleach, and you've got the vitamin C, and it comes in a water-based for acne patients. So even menopause people, you know, they're like, I am getting acne. I never had it my entire life, and now I'm going through menopause, and my entire chin is full of acne. So it's hard to put products on that are really, really good for somebody for an older age. This one comes water-based, so it allows you to have water-based with the HQ and the vitamin C in it. It is a huge seller for me over the years. Absolutely love it. And to my knowledge, it's the only one on the market. So I think that is.
It is the only vitamin C with a prescription lightener in it. This is also great for men. I have so many clients over the years that say, what can you give me for my husband? He doesn't want to do a lot of product. If you can get your husband in the morning to do this, followed by a sunscreen, it's going to be awesome.
Anybody with oily skin, again, can combine these two together. So a child, you know, somebody younger, somebody that doesn't want to do as much, but you know, my age, I'm going to be 53. So I do use this one. In the summertime, I use the water-based. In the wintertime, I use the one with the oil in it, and I do love this. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, has the most acne of any of my children, and she has seen Dr. Lynch, getting it cleared up. We've been doing some peels and things like that. She can use the water-based. She was very afraid and loves it, and absolutely loves this product. She said, if Obagi doesn't make that yellow serum, I'm going to die. So I was like, okay, well, that's a big deal. So I was very happy to hear that she loves it. And actually Christa's daughter, Katie, loves it as well. So it's kind of interesting that sometimes when you get things stolen off your bathroom counter, you get the little feedback of your kids liking it.
Yeah.
So
you have to go and hunt for your products.
And if someone is super dry, this is one that's really nice, and it gets overlooked a lot. So it is a cream form of a vitamin C. So if you're somebody that says, Jill, I try the vitamin C, it feels like when you eat the most spiciest salsa when you're at the Mexican restaurant, I can't do it. I'm trying so hard. This one won't burn. So you're still getting your vitamin C. It's going to feel more hydrating, and you're going to love it. Maybe slowly moving yourself into letting your skin obtain the vitamin C and then actually rotating a little bit. That's a really great way to do it. You can actually take this one day and this one day and kind of rotate them slowly. And eventually people can end up giving this one up. There's some that just can't, but I think it's a really great way. It just, with the peptides in there, it modifies how it feels. And you still get the, you know, what you need, but I still want you to push towards the 20 if you can.
Yeah, this one does get overlooked a lot. And besides from having the 10% vitamin C, it has the SNAP-8 peptide, and it basically does the same thing that Botox is kind of doing. It's kind of unhinging the memory receptor. But the thing with peptides is they're good while they're in the skin, but obviously as the day goes on, it's going to wear off. It also has 2 plant growth factors in it. So it's really a 3-in-1, growth factors, peptides, and vitamin C. It's an awesome product as well. And it does reduce the appearance of fine lines by 40%. So if you're looking for that quick fix, this is a great product.
I thought I'd line these up for people if you want to
And then our last product within our vitamin C family is our scrub. People have asked us for a mask or a scrub for years, and we launched this, I think, about 2 years ago now as well. It is a 30% Ascorbic acid microdermabrasion scrub and mask. So that's a lot of things going on all at one time. But it comes in this scrub. Jill's used a lot of it in her treatment room, as you can see. But you scoop this scrub out. It kind of smells like a creamsicle. It smells awesome. And you want to have damp skin, and you want to kind of start to make it pliable in your hands with some warm water, and then start scrubbing it into the skin. If you have dry or sensitive skin, just scrub it in for 20 to 30 seconds. That's going to be the microderm part. It does have those microderm crystals in there. And then you want to leave it on the skin, or if you have thicker or oilier skin, you want to scrub a little bit more, rough up that top layer a little bit, and then you want to leave it on the skin. I do it either when I take a bath, or I'm going to do a hair mask or something like that. Leave it on 10 to 15 minutes. That's going to allow that 30% vitamin C to penetrate in there. And then you want to remove it with a warm washcloth, so it's not going to come off just when you put your face under the water.
Nope.
You're immediately going to have a less dull complexion, so you're going to have more of a glow, and it's going to infuse that vitamin C in there really nicely. You can do it up to a couple times a week if you like to, if it fits into your schedule. At least several times a month. It's going to last you a long time. This is our gift with purchase, with a $200 purchase. So, and also in our free gift for attending, you're going to get a little travel trial size of it as well.
One thing I would like you guys to do is we're going to be contacting you over the next couple of 3 days here to make sure that, you know, we can get to you, get you ordered what you want. Unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, I really want people to come and pick their things up unless you are out of state. I know there's some of you that are attending either today or tonight that are out of state that will ship to you, but the mail has been really bad. And I feel terrible saying that. We love the U.S. Postal Service. No offense to anyone who works there or anything, but it's just, we've had a really hard time. So if we can ring your items up and you can come pick them up, that would be great. You're going to get a free bag for attending with some samples in there. My business card will be in there. You can email me. Christa or myself will call you. We'll put your orders together. And, you know, you'll be able to have everything that way, and we'll be doing it over the next 2 to 3 days. So like a little this afternoon until our next class starts, and then after, you know, so on and so forth. So as she said, the $200 gift is going to be the scrub. The $300 gift is going to be one of the vitamin C's, and the $500 or more is going to be the Elastiderm serum, which is awesome. That's a $200 value free. And you can follow. I would like you guys to also schedule an appointment. So once you get your products and you start, then schedule an appointment for a free follow-up. Come in, let's talk about how it's going. I think you should do that monthly for a couple of months. If you already get treatments with me, you can add like 15 minutes so we can talk away before I'm actually, you know, treating you and doing things. But I think that way it really helps people stay on the wagon. I do a lot of before and afters just in your chart only. You can see I only used one person. I don't bug the daylights out of you, although we are kind of wanting to start to do a little bit better with social media. So if you guys are people that would want to do that with any of the providers here at the practice, it would be greatly appreciated. We can always black out your eyes. We don't want to do anything embarrassing. We want to do something that's like, look how beautiful that, you know, we help this person feel so much healthier and happier. So that is something we really have been working on. We really miss the social media boat. It is a very difficult thing to do. It's almost like a second job. I don't really have time for it, but I want to because everyone looks so great. So we just have to really, all of our providers are amazing and they've all got their people that think they are just like their favorite. So if you come here and you see one of them and you're like, hey, if you ever want to use me, you know, sign something, and I'm sure, you know, they would be so thankful because it's hard, you know, to have your face out there. And I, you know, wish that I could do it for people, but it's hard. It's just hard. So that would be something that I think we should think about in the future. So make sure that you schedule. If you're a brand new person, I've never seen you, you'll come in, we'll check mark a book for you so that you know exactly what to use. The lineup of the products I kind of put back here, you can kind of see a little bit from the cleansers and things like that that will go across the back. and the dosage and frequency of each item. Christa can also do that for me. She's actually helping me this year. It was last year, it was a little labor intensive, and we do a lot of these things together, like in the business world even. So I completely trust what she thinks, and if she doesn't know, she asks me. So it's completely fine to go over things with her and then review them with me. You can email me. Email is jillg@theparkerclinic.com.
So if they want to place an order and they are already on Obagi, what is the best way to do that?
I really think just putting that you want to order and just call me next to your name, because we'll actually be able to see, like in the chat, that you wanted to be called. And you know, so that we don't miss anybody, we honestly probably will go down through and just make sure. I think if you know exactly what you want, the biggest thing is, you know, my longtime users, it's fine. You can just say a Retin-A 1%. I think the percentages come in a little bit difficult because, you know, I don't want you to say, I want a vitamin C, because there's so many, as you saw. So that's the hardest part, that we actually kind of need to talk to you a little bit more and make sure that we're getting you exactly what you want. And a consult at any time is fine. So, you know, all you have to do is call the front desk and say, I attended Obagi. I really want to see Jill. You know, I want to come and, you know, buy or whatever. And if you've been using it a while and you learned something new, make a consult for a follow-up. Just come in and be like, you're not going to believe this, but I kind of wanted to, you know, I kind of learned over the years, sometimes we talk about our dogs, our kids, our trips, our this or that. And I don't always get to talk about Obagi because you've done it for 10 or 15 years. You look amazing. And I kind of just think, you know what you're doing. So some people really just want that connection of learning what to do. And I think that's a big, thing. So,
yeah, so if anybody wants to type in any questions to the chat box, we will do a live Q&A now. We did get some questions that were sent in before. So is it okay to use my products on my neck and chest? Absolutely. Everything that can be used on your face can be used on your neck and chest. The neck and décolleté area would be a second dosage. So when we're talking about specific dosages for the prescription products, especially, that would be a second dosage. So we'll talk about that. Also, what Jill was mentioning, I will be here the next 2 days. If anybody wants to come in and talk with me about any products, I will be working in the clinic the next 2 days to help out Jill and get everything, all the products orders filled. What are your favorite neck products? My 2 favorite neck products are Retivance and the Elastiderm Facial Serum. I do the Retivance first, 1 pump for the neck. I usually do 2, and I bring it down to my décolleté, and then I follow it up with 1 pump of the Elastiderm Facial Serum. So they're both doing really nice things to firm and tighten the neck.
I just got a question about under the eye. So the biggest thing is, you guys, you never want to take something that wasn't formulated for the eyes and dump it on there, right? But you don't want to ignore it either. So it's that weird spot, like, what do I do? So again, when you're doing any kind of treating on your face, I always try to have you do the perimeter of your face and then move the items in, because this is going to be more sensitive anyway. You're not dumping a lot. When you feel like you have a little bit left on your fingers, just kind of zoop under the eye and right up here, and then put your little eye cream over it. I do that with vitamin C. I definitely use the Retivance, like she's saying. It helps to keep those areas smooth. You can do the Elastiderm Facial Serum if you want to, but you're already getting it in the eye cream, so you don't really have to. I would say just vitamin C and the sunscreen for sure. Some people feel like they're very dark, like maybe they'd have allergies, and there's somebody that rubs their nose a lot, and therefore they get dry right across here, which has left some dry, dead skin. Retivance should help take care of that a little easier than your tretinoin. That might be a little hard. And then also making sure the clear and the blender sort of get along in there just a little bit. It'll really help to brighten. If it stays dark, then I would recommend a consult with one of the physicians for under eye filler. I think that will really help. Another question, what did we have? Somebody?
We got that one.
Okay.
So favorite products to use while on vacation. So this is what I always put in my bag when I go on vacation. My 20% vitamin C, you want to protect, protect, protect. I now incorporate my Hydra drops right after that. And then I use my tinted, warm tinted SPF. This year, I'm probably going to bring my Susan Obagi physical block instead, because I can go in the ocean with that and feel better. And then at night, I actually do my vitamin C again at night, again, because our whole thing is we want to protect against those rays. Then I put Retivance on over it because, again, this retinaldehyde product is not irritating the skin. You're not going to have any raw skin from it. So you're going to still help to correct without any irritation. And then I use some hydrate on there because your skin usually gets a little bit dehydrated when you're on vacation.
Somebody had a question about rubbing it into your hands. I do try to have you be careful with that. Some people are super careful and they actually put it on their face, like do the drops from the little dropper on their face. I'm always afraid I don't want to instruct anybody that and have them get it in their eye. So I try to sort of have that, not be the case. But if you can just put it on the fingertips a little bit and really get it everywhere without letting it penetrate into your hands too much. It's the toughest with these because you can see they are literally like watery.
I just hold that dropper right up to my face, drop it, rub.
I just don't want you to get it in your eyes. That's the toughest thing. Your forehead's flat, you're looking in the mirror and it's going to go zoop right in your eyeball. So that's going to burn. So just be careful. You can certainly do it, but we don't want it in your eyes. So the less you get your little dry hands to absorb, I agree, is better to get it on your face, neck, and chest.
I have to put it somewhere, put it here. It's the less
you can kind of scoop it up and put it on everywhere. Yeah, that's good.
When you get good at it, you can get just one drop to come out, get your forehead, and then keep going around.
We can, but yeah.
You kind of start to master it.
And then the eyes was the other one, Retivance and eye cream over it. So I think did we get out? There's 10, so I don't know if we have more.
No, I think we hit every question.
Okay.
Everybody gets a free gift with your purchase for attending. We've got a really cute little cosmetic bag that these products are going to come in, but we've got a hand sanitizer, a vitamin C scrub, and a sample of the Elastiderm, and then a travel size cleanser, toner, and sunscreen.
Okay. Oh, I see. Over here.
We have a question about the difference between Zeo and Obagi. They are two different product lines. I know it can be confusing because they both have Obagi in them. Dr. Zane Obagi, that started Obagi Medical Products 30-some years ago, does have a separate line on the market that is not represented here. All I will really say is that Obagi Medical focuses our products on these core prescription ingredients of tretinoin and hydroquinone. Those are in separate products. I know some of theirs are mixed together with some other acids, and we can dose and frequent things better when we're doing it like this. And I can let Jill speak other than that, but they are two different product lines. The question says which is better, but we can't really go into.
Yeah, I can't really. All I can say is what my favorite is, and that's and you're going to have them think that theirs is their favorite, and that's okay. It's kind of like anything else that we choose, different places we go and different airlines that we use and all of those things. So I'm just a long time skincare specialist that has really platformed myself with this company. It's not like I'm doing it for any other reason than just because I want to make you guys happy. I trust it. I know when it's left me, people know what they're doing. Some of that is me knowing how to teach you what you're doing. I've had many complaints about Zeo. But honestly, I've tried to, figure out what it is. And I would agree that I think some of their things that are in there are a little bit irritating when you're combining it with the medication. These may not be, your most luxurious kind of items that you're going to see when you've got the prescription. But what matters is when you're putting it on, it's doing its job. It's doing it very well on everybody. I don't have to worry about ethnicity. I don't have to worry about, like, if you're not doing something, I know just by looking at you. It's that easy, honestly. So, if there's some heavy pigmentation that has stayed behind from certain people that have more difficult issues, then we go into some other things, which are like prescription pads. Those are used on a very low scale for a very short amount of time, and they're from a compounding pharmacy. So we have other things that we can do. I've had many people transition from Zeo back to this, and they've been very happy. If you love Zeo, that's good. You can stay with it. We just don't sell it. I'm not totally sure what accounts in the city do, but you know, if it's your favorite, then it's your favorite, and that's great. You know, I have no qualms about that at all. You could always maybe incorporate some of our non-prescription products in with your Zeo, which would be some of these things that we were showing you. The vitamin C's, the serum is wonderful. The Retivance could be added in. So I was in Dr. Obagi's office in Beverly Hills several years ago, and I was with his medical esthetician. So I've spent time with him. I've been out there. You know, I do look into these things, quite honestly. And if I thought it was better, I really would change. It's just in my heart, I don't. So, and that's just my own professional and personal opinion, kind of like if you fly United, American, or Southwest. It's just really that simple, I think. And it's no slam to him whatsoever, because he's a wonderful guy. And, you know, I just happen to love the 30-year-old products. That's just my thing. So I hope that answers it okay for whoever asked the question. And then we have 2 in the Q&A. Were you able to get to those?
I've got to those. Okay. I use tretinoin 1%, and I would like to try the Retivance. Should I just alternate those 2 products at night? That's exactly what I do. I do one night where I do my blender and tretinoin, and then either 1 or 2 nights in a row after that, I do my Retivance. And that's really a nice option for people that have really already corrected their skin or can't tolerate the tretinoin every single night.
Yep.
So that's exactly what I do. So yes, you can do that.
And I would say too, with that, you know, there are some factors that would factor into that. If you feel that you need correction, you want to stay on the 1% train. If you still have dark, if your skin is still thick, if you're just not able to get it to where you want it to be, you want to try to, you got to kind of push through it. What happens with Retin-A is that you start to notice your skin changing. And when that happens, you got to keep going and push further. So for my patients that say like, gosh, it just makes me dry. Like I cannot. And I'm like, how many times a week do you use it? And they'll say 1. And I'm like, well, 1 isn't enough. So, and the problem with that is if you use it just enough, and I'm talking tretinoin now, the real prescription to make your skin dry, then you're never really creating the change that you need. So when you buy skincare, a lot of times it's comfy, it feels good, it's grapes, it smells wonderful. It's not doing anything. It's hydrating that dead old skin. This is getting into a live cell. It's changing a cell function, and you're thinking out with the old, in with the new. So I teach people, if you want to have a change, you need to create one when you're not with me. You know, doing it all the time when you're at home is the best way to really make things happen. And right now, for the next few months, I don't know when, our masks are still covering up all the downtime. So go to town until that mask comes off. And if you're on Zoom, just back up a little bit and lower the light. You really can't see the flaking as much as you think that you can. So, you know, the more aggressive of something you pick, the more aggressive the outcome is. So I also, just in saying that, barely ever sell this. I'm going to be honest. I think it's something that is very much like a retinol. It will make you dry. It doesn't always let you move forward unless you're more of just that so sensitive. You're allergic to almost everything in the world, maybe. But there still is ways that you can make the stronger prescriptions a little bit better. So if you've been hovering with this one too long, it's time to move up, you know. And adding some of these little extra hydrators that we talked about really will help you get through that problem a little bit. The Hydrate Luxe, the thicker cream in the jar, that's going to help. When you wash your face the next morning, you feel like you still have moisturizer on after you've used that Luxe. It's that luxurious and healthy hydration, and it really helps minimize your downside of the dehydrated skin. So I think that's really, really important to get ahead of it. So if you back down a little bit because it's been chewing you up, you want to add those hydration derived things in to push through the problem and keep moving forward, so that eventually people will come in and they're like, my skin's not peeling anymore. I haven't peeled in like 3 months. I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, I don't want my skin to go back to the way it was. I'm really worried, you know? And I'm like, it's not going to. Staying with dosage and frequency and being on a good maintenance program will allow you to keep those, all of that ground that you covered. So, and that's another reason for follow-ups, is just don't fall off the bandwagon, or worse yet, put it away and order another product and think, oh, this product is as good as Obagi. That's really amazing. It's not prescription. I don't know why that's happening. It's because the great skin that you've obtained is carrying you through weeks and weeks and months, all the while it's slowly building back up. Everything is slowly slowing down and you're not visually seeing it until you hate it. And then you're like, well, why do I have dark spots? I don't understand why I have more wrinkles. Why are my pores looking funny? It's because you didn't do anything to maintain it. So it's the same as getting a very expensive laser and doing nothing. It's the same. So we really kind of maintaining that. How can I, you know, obtain and keep what I've done with you guys is just as important as doing the big things, because what you do at home matters. It matters a lot to the outcome of your long-term skin health journey is really what it boils down to. So
yeah, you've told me you've had a lot of clients over the years that have maybe gone somewhere else because they got a deal on something, started on a different line, and then a year later they're back like, I'm so sorry.
And you know,
again, and it's okay if that
sad
happens.
about that. Actually, I was like, gosh, I wonder what I did wrong that I don't have them back. And then I realized, you know, going somewhere else and seeing something different and not really loving it was actually better, because now they're like, I'm never going to do that again, you know. And I'm like, okay, great. So it really helps sometimes to just try it out and see, you know, I'm just going to try something and see how it works. And if it's not working well, then you come back. So that's okay too.
One other question here. I know we're at the hour point. We don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but there was a question. What do you suggest for the nose area where your eyewear hits or sits?
So not letting a lot collect here is a big deal. It is hard when you are an eyeglass wearer. So just not putting a ton right where those little eyeglass, and somebody that's older, that's really hard. So sometimes there are those little silicone sheeting things that you can use for a scar, and they'll help to sort of heal. You can do those at night on your skin, and it kind of protects it a little bit and puts that hydration in a little bit. You know, it just really will kind of soften a little bit, but not dumping a lot of product right through the center of the face. The interior of your nose can get too dry. Corners of your mouth can actually crack. And the biggest issue with your eyes is your tear ducts. So you want to be careful to not dump a lot in those areas where it can cause you irritation. I hope that helps. Vaseline does a lot. A clean new tube of Vaseline will help you through many things. Corner of the eye, in the little nose, but you want to throw away the Q-tip. Don't get it back in the Vaseline, just in case we have any kind of like staph infection or anything in our nose that we wouldn't know we had. Believe it or not, it's super easy to get it and we wouldn't even know, and it's okay, but it happens. So just keeping that Vaseline really clean. For some reason, we keep that tube of Vaseline in our homes for way too long, and we use it on babies and then we use it on our faces. We don't want to do that. So that will actually help. Put a little bit of Vaseline on there at night when you're going to sleep, and it'll help. Anywhere that you feel irritated, rubbed open, really beat up. I actually have patients that are older that they're like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to use my Retin-A every single night. And I'm like, oh boy, your little face is going to be on your shirt, you know? So as you're peeling and you're doing all of your products, you can then layer a little bit of Vaseline on right before bed, just real thin over top of your products. And it does kind of help to take some of those dry side effects. I usually just have people do it in the nasolabial area where they're just extremely dry. So that will help. Also does help in the creases of our necks. When we sleep and our heads are all bent, sometimes the products want to get in those little creases and make our skin mad. Very, very common. We sometimes have to do less on our necks than we do on our faces. Last question. Do we have one there?
I think we've got them all.
Okay, so we're going to try to reach out to you guys. I so greatly appreciate you tuning in. This is one of my biggest things that I love, is to make you guys feel better and look better. So again, Jill G at the Parker Clinic. .com.
To that, you can email that you want a phone call or that you want to come in the next 2 days as well.
Yep. And then if you're a user and you're ordering a few things and you want, I would still suggest a follow-up. Just come in so that you can let me know how's it going with the new things that you incorporated, with the new things that you learned. And if you're a Zeo person and you're like, oh gosh, I kind of maybe want to try Nu-Derm and just see, we don't want you to stop your Zeo totally. You've spent a lot of money on that. That is not something, I don't do that. I just slowly transition people from whatever it is, you know, that they're buying. A lot of people were doing the Rodan and Fields because it's at home, and their girlfriend started doing it as a job. So they're slowly transitioning out of those. We don't auto ship anybody. We don't lock you into having to purchase things, nothing like that. So you can slowly buy something one at a time until you're happy with having things new. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. And again, when you buy this, you do get a book if you're brand new. It's literally a book that comes inside of those kits. And every product is listed. The dosage is listed. I check mark it all and make absolutely sure that you know what you're doing. We don't just give it to you and hope for the best, because you will not have a good outcome. So it has to be monitored. And a lot of times that's why I think it doesn't work well for people, is they've just purchased it somewhere, wherever, and they've had nobody to help them. Another thing is Obagi Premier Points. If there's enough of you still online, it's an awesome app. So our desk is fantastic with it, and we are a reputable dealer, meaning that you have to buy it from a physician's office. You're going to download an app on your phone, you're going to get points for buying, and they will be able to email and log your points with this, and you will get full-size products that are non-prescription at home. So you don't want to make a mistake and think you're ordering a prescription and you accidentally get one that is non-prescription. You can use HSAs to buy some of these products that are prescription level. We do accept HSA cards here for, you know, like when you buy your contacts or things like that. So clear your Retin-As, your vitamin C's that have the prescription in them, you can use HSA accounts to purchase those. So that does help a lot of people with funding a little bit. So hopeful that this has helped everybody. I would love feedback on it in any way, you know, emailing, just I loved it, I hated it, I wish you would have said, whatever is great, because I want to know and want to make it a good experience for you at the Parker Clinic. So thank you very much for your time, and we will hopefully see some of you next year.
Yep.
Bye.